Congressman Andy Biggs of the House Judiciary Committee. Great to have you, Congressman. I first of all want to give you an opportunity to react to some of the big developments that Catherine is reporting on today. You heard her say, where we are in taking the fifth and what this means for this week to hear from these people potentially.
Well, with Mr. Simpson, he invoked the fifth, as you know, and so we're going to probably step into the process where we are going to submit our questions and the ones he took the fifth on, give them to the chairman. The chairman is going to look at them to see if those were valid or invalid invocations of the fifth. And if they were invalid, then Mr. Simpson will be required under the subpoena to come back and testify and answer those questions. And failure to do so could possibly lead to contempt citations, which, in some respects is long overdue for not just Mr. Simpson, but for others as well. But that's kind of the process that's going. The others, some have been subpoenaed and some have agreed to willingly come in and testify. So James Baker is going to finish up tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, his testimony that he started previously, which had a lot of information in that.
And Nellie Orr, Bruce Orr's wife?
She's going to be scheduled to be in on Friday. I say that now because we have not enforced our authority, and so sometimes they come in willy-nilly, and sometimes they say they don't want to come. But I believe she'll be here, and that will happen, and we should get some questions answered there, specifically with Mr. Simpson and his relationship, because she worked for his firm.
I want to give you a chance to respond to something that Simpson's attorney, Josh Levy, said. He said that this committee would make McCarthy proud. What is your reaction to that?
Well, it's hyperbole, and he knows it's hyperbole, and he was there, and I had a chance to talk with him during the event, during the deposition. He knows it's not true. The McCarthy hearings were very vicious and vitriolic, and in this deposition hearing that we did today, there was nothing vitriolic. It was each side handled it professionally and did our best to try to get information out, or we did anyway, to get information out. And it wasn't going to happen.
I want to share with you the president's tweet on this today. Is it really possible that Bruce Orr, whose wife Nellie was paid by Simpson and GPS Fusion for work done on the fake dossier, and who was used as a pawn in this whole scam, parenthetically witch hunt, is still working for the Department of Justice? Can this really be so? It's an interesting question. Can you answer it?
Well, he is. My understanding is he is, and it's bothersome to me and my colleagues as we look at this thing. It's quite frankly, it's indefensible, and so something should happen. It should have happened a long time ago. The president's correct. His attorney general needs to get going on that. Maybe he is, but he hasn't said anything publicly, so we don't really know.
And just to tie the loop here, because it's not about just the fact that these two were married. It's what they did, and well, I want you to finish that.
Yeah, well, it is what they did. I mean, she's working for Fusion GPS. She's basically doing Oppo research on the president. Somehow her husband gets that, either from Fusion GPS or from his wife. He takes it to the FBI. FBI uses that, in part anyways, to get FISA warrants to spy on political enemies that are domestic citizens, U.S. citizens. This is outrageous misconduct. They don't put any of the exculpatory evidence in there, and it absolutely, we need to get to the bottom of it, but we're being stonewalled by the DOJ, by the FBI, who won't give us documents. Today we get a guy invoking the Fifth Amendment on everything, and you just look at it and you say, we have got to get some help and coordination with the Attorney General.
Yeah, and it's also speaking to the issue of why people just look at agencies and they think, well, how big is government and how powerful is it, and why can't we learn what we need to learn as an American public, as well as you on the Hill. Congressman Biggs, thank you for being with me.
Thanks, Harris. Good to be with you always.